I love free. Using free images, I made this, and this, and this. I especially love vintage-looking illustrations and designs. So in this video, I'm going to show you a website that has over 1,000 high-quality images and vectors available, all for free. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. Let's go. Hey there, I hope you're having a great day, and I want to share with you some free stuff. I love free, and let's just jump right into it. We've got horseback riding. We've got PNG files of flowers. We've got vintage skeletons. We've got silhouettes. That's hard to find high quality silhouettes for free. Jungle animals, animal skeletons, nature symphony, snakes, flowers. The list goes on and on. What I like about these vintage black and white designs is that not only do you get a PNG file, but you get a vector file as well. You can see there, I'm just going to zoom in here. You can see you get a vector file as well. Totally free. You can download these, and the list goes on. You can see here they've got them where they're numbered: 22, 23, 24 vintage baseball items, circus, craftsman tools. This is really neat because companies will give you like really big picture items, but they won't give you the little things like tools. You know, like getting a high res picture of like a screwdriver or a saw, that can be really tough sometimes. So this is nice. Clocks, tons of different animals. What I like about these high res PNG files, like the parrots, for example, I'm just going to click open that one, is sometimes it's difficult to get them without like a ton of background illustration. And here we can see there's just the actual pictures. 11 colorful parrots. We'll keep going. We've got more. Yes, there's more. Tropical fruits. Follow the fish. Halloween. 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 More Halloween. These are touched up. These are cleaned up. These are high quality scans. High quality PNG files. And I'm just going to speed things up here because we could spend all day just glancing through files. This is free assets from a company called Heritage Type Company. Heritage Type Co. And so they have a freebie section. I'm just going to go to the main page. And you'll see this thing come up here. It's a logo bundle, and there's different brands that use this thing. They've got different tools, design bundles, blah, blah, blah. But right at the top, there's a free download section as well. Now, I'm going to put the link to this company down in the video description. It's heritagetype.com. And the link below will be an affiliate link. So if you did wind up buying something, I would get a small commission and you'd be helping support my channel. But today I'm just going to be talking about free stuff. So when you get to the Heritage Type website, there's home, fonts, illustrations, free downloads, and more. I'm just going to click on the free downloads. And that's where you get to this page where you just scroll and scroll and scroll. So if you only want flamingos, go ahead and try it. You're just going to get 7 high-res images. You're not going to get 7,000 of things you don't want. So I really like how they've laid this out. I'm just going to download this parrot party, and I'm going to show you exactly what it looks like in more detail. Okay, I've downloaded the pack, and as we can see here, there's a bunch of parrot files. I'm just going to make this a little bit bigger here so you can see there's different parrots. I'm going to open this up inside of Photoshop just so you can see how high res these are. But we can just hover over one, and you can see here it says 3000 by 3944. It's 8.41 megabytes. That's pretty high res. Down here it says 3000 by 4052. Again, pretty high res. There's also a PDF file. I'm just going to pop that open too. And this is the actual license agreement or the license file for Heritage. And I think that's nice because if you're dealing with images, you want to know if somebody ever comes out of the woodwork and says, hey, your copyright's, infringing, you can point back to something. So they've actually included that license. Okay, so here's the actual license agreement for Heritage Library, and it says we've carefully selected our content that we believe are in the public domain and therefore are copyright free. They even include the CC0, which is good. CC0 license is here. And what that means is it's basically copyright free. It's public domain. So they've grabbed a whole bunch of public domain resources, scoured the internet, and then they've done high quality scans of them, or they've touched them up digitally, that sort of thing. And so you can edit, modify, use the resources in commercial work or personal work. You're just not allowed to just redistribute the actual bundles, which makes sense. I mean, they're giving them away for free on their site, so you can't just resell them to someone else. So I've opened up my ancient old version of Photoshop, but I just want to use this just to show you how high quality the images are. This is my template here that I use for Redbubble. So it's about 20 inches by 24 inches. It's a pretty big palette, and I'm just going to import one of the parrot images. Okay, so I've imported the image. I'm just going to place the file. As we can see, there it is. I can then also just resize it. I can just bring it up. Now there's an online resizing tool as well. If you go to if you type in Adobe Photoshop online, there's a resizing tool as well, but I can just resize it right here in Photoshop. Anyway, there it is. It's clean. There's no background on it, which is great. And so what I would recommend is if you're going to upload this just as is onto a t-shirt or a coffee mug, I would just caution you and just say, look, somebody else might have taken this free design and done that as well. So what you'd probably want to do is just add something to it that's a little bit different so that it makes it your original piece of art. So I'm just going to use a yellow circle. I'm just going to draw a yellow circle on this, add a little layer here, create a circle, and then just push the circle underneath that. So now when I move this, there's my design. And I could have made that any color I wanted, but my point is now I've changed it. I've changed the public domain image, and now when I save this to put it on a t-shirt or a coffee mug, that's my design now. The other type of file that the Heritage Library gives you is not just the color PNG files, but also true vectors as well. So, you know, here's, for example, if I scroll on down, I can go to, I really like those skulls actually. So I'm going to scroll right down and I'm going to go to the skulls, which was down near the beginning. Here we go, Deadly Skulls. I'm going to do Deadly Skulls 02. So I'm going to click on this, and this gives me Deadly Skulls 02. And this is 10 black and white skull illustrations in PNG and vector format. So I'm going to show you the vector format. I'm actually going to download this and then put it into Inkscape so I can show you that these are true vectors that you can modify, which is pretty neat. I just downloaded the Deadly Skulls pack, and there's PNG files here. So if you wanted to use just the PNGs, you totally could. Again, these are pretty high res. They're 3,000, 4,000 pixels in size. But you could also just use the vectors. Now they show up as PDFs, so I'm going to show you what this looks like in Inkscape, because if you're wondering like, well, it's a PDF, it doesn't say it's a vector. I will show you that right now. Okay, so I'm inside of Inkscape now, and if you've never heard of Inkscape before, it is a free vector software tool. It's similar to Adobe Illustrator. There's menus along the left, along the right, down at the bottom, and it's really easy to use. So I'm just going to open one of the skull pictures, and I'm just going to pick like number 6 here. Just, I don't know, just picking one here at random. And it's going to give me this PDF import setting. So from here, I'm just going to use the internal import, and I'm just going to click OK. Now it says it's a PDF, so I wonder, am I really going to get a vector? So now I've popped open the image, and it looks pretty nice. I can select the image, and I can move the image around. And the question is it a real vector? Well, when I go to the second little arrow down at the left-hand side here, it says Edit Paths by Node. And when I click on it, I can now hover over the image. And as we can see, that red flashing indicates that that is a vector. So there's all the different vector points that make up this skull. I'm just going to scroll really in so you can see it better here. So these are all the little scans that make up the vector. And when I click on the Edit Paths by Node, they're now all here. So I can take any individual path and I can move it. I can make it, longer, shorter. I can also make it fatter, thinner. I can do all sorts of weird, wild stuff to this vector, and it's got infinite crispness because it's not a scan. A vector is actually a mathematical formula that has infinite resolution. So very cool. And this will give me a really, really high quality image because I can scale it up infinitely large. So I hope you enjoyed this little walkthrough. If you like heritage type company and you're getting, some value here out of the free stuff, I would encourage you to at least have a look at the other things. There's a whole font section, for example, and they've got some really high-end illustrations, and they've also got like even tutorials and stuff on their website. They've got this like a bunch of other stuff that I'm going to showcase here in future videos as well, but there's a lot of cool resources and assets here on this website. So check them out. Again, the link is down in the description below. You don't have to buy anything, but there's a lot of free stuff here just to kind of wet your whistle a little bit. It's a really cool site. And the guys who run it, they're really high-end artists. So they know what they're doing here in terms of quality, bundling, making sure things are intuitive. I really like them. So I hope you do too. Thank you so much for watching, everyone, and have a great day.